Grainmaker. Welcome, everyone, to the Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast, a Prairie Proud wrestling podcast covering everything from Winnipeg to worldwide. My name is Blair Pacheco. I hope you're doing well, having a great day, evening, weekend, whenever it is you're sitting down to listen to this. Now, back in March, WPW put on the Voyager Cup, and there was an entrant in that tournament who I think a lot of people may not have been too familiar with, but my God, did she take Winnipeg by storm with her incredible performance. She's here today on the Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast. I am joined by the absolutely fantastic Kingsley. Kingsley, how's it going?
Hi, it's me, Kingsley. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Now, I like, I like to talk to the people that go to the shows, you like to hear what they have to say. And I don't think I have ever encountered a wrestler who so many people were like, when is Kingsley coming back? So like you took Winnipeg by storm when you were here.
Yeah, look, I'm glad there was such a good reception to me because obviously I'm new to Canada. I don't know how people respond to me, or like I'm still marinating myself with everybody and my personality. So I'm really happy that Winnipeg really, really liked me. So even though I was a little bit rude, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm glad they're a bit forgiving in that sense. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Sometimes it's called for. Sometimes you gotta just like put people in their place.
The boys in the back, a bit noisy, a bit rude, calling me a few
Yeah.
names, that's fine. Saying I couldn't sing, wrong. I can. So whatever.
Was that your first time being in Winnipeg? I assume so, correct?
Yeah, it was my first time in Winnipeg. I was ecstatic because like I had a few friends, Australian friends like ATO, like Kaz Jordan,
Yep.
Jules, back in the day, wrestled for them, and obviously Jody is a recurring person there, a fan favorite, and they harp on how great Winnipeg is, how fun it is, and yeah, I was so happy to do it, and I hope to be back there soon. So I want more Winnipeg. Yay.
Well, hopefully we see you back here because it's starting to get nicer out. So like at least then you can enjoy Winnipeg a little bit more. It's not as much fun when it's cold and depressing.
No, snow in general, I don't vibe
No.
with. So, I don't know how you guys do it. It's a very Canadian thing. It's not an Australian thing, I'll tell you that. So, yeah, the snow thing, that needs to change, but I don't think that's very realistic of me to ask from you guys or anyone really. So,
Hey, the way global warming's going, like I'm expecting no
yeah.
snow in a few years. So
Hey, great for me. So, I'm happy for that. So, I don't think Kingsley is a very environmentally friendly person saying that, but I hate snow. So I hate it.
well, so you were here in Winnipeg, and then I think it was like a week later. Next thing I know, you're out in Vancouver wrestling for Boom, and it's like,
Yeah.
holy shit, Kingsley's just taking over Canada.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I don't have a lot of time here, so unless I actually extend my visa or, I do something to do, I don't know, with that visa, to stay longer. But yeah, I'm ready on my 1 year mark here in Canada,
Okay.
and I've majority of my time has been in Toronto and out of Toronto areas. So, yeah, I was just like, you know what, I need to step out a bit, and yeah, so Winnipeg and Vancouver had a little piece of Kingsley, and I really want to go back, especially to Vancouver.
Mhm.
Vancouver's beautiful, I would absolutely move to Vancouver. So it's really
Like
gorgeous.
when
Yeah.
you were there, were you able to do like a little bit of sightseeing or anything like that? Because I know like just being able to walk around there or like even visiting and going for like a hike or whatever, like it is incredible out there.
It's so nice. Like, I did a few sightseeing. I think I spent like 4 days or 5 days. No, 4 days. I can't count. I'm not good at math. Kingsley is not good at math. Put that down in the notes. But yeah, I spent a few days there. I have a friend, Ricky South, who's currently residing there. And he's a very, I guess, a local now, I guess. in the boom and Vancouver scene. And I spent my time with him and my friends North Shore Wrestling, who are also visiting as well from Australia. And I would love to do like a couple hikes. Like I do like hikes. I hate camping.
Yeah.
I don't want to do camping.
No.
Camping can go in the trash.
Mhm.
Hiking though, love a hike. So next time I'm in Vancouver, would love to do some hiking. But it was really gorgeous. Like getting off a plane and just seeing mountains and cherry
Yeah.
blossoms, and it's not Japan. It's crazy, you
Mhm.
know. So and everyone's really nice. Food is fantastic. The bars there are fantastic. So yeah, a lot different to Toronto over here. So it was very picturesque to say the
Now,
least. So
I mean, I'd be amiss if I didn't cap off your Canada trip or your Canadian
mm.
tour with, me tuning into Dynasty, and I look and I recognize somebody who's being swooned by Andrade. And let me say, I would be swooned by him as well. So, like,
look, look, you know. I think he was swooned by me, to be honest. So
yes,
let's be
yes,
real. But no, he's fantastic. He was so nice. I loved working with him. I loved working with the AEW crew. It was such a fun day, and working with Goldust backstage. I call him Goldust. I'm sorry, Dustin Rhodes. So, but like he was my guy growing up. I love Goldust. So it was really nice that he was my agent for that little segment, and
nice.
yeah, he was happy with me. He put me over on Twitter as well. She's like, "Oh God, everything's happening," you know. But yeah, no, it was such a fun little segment to do. Everyone was just like, "Yeah, free reign. You know, you can be a fan, or you can like do a little, little flirtiness." I'm just like, "Oh, you want flirting? I can do that. That's me to a T." So and I flirted it up and I gave him a little kiss on the cheek. It was fantastic, and yeah. So hopefully everyone liked it. I didn't tell any of my friends back home watching AEW,
Mhm.
and then I had like my phone blowing up in the group chat. Like all the friends like, "Kingsley, what the heck?" Like you didn't tell us. I'm like, just another day in the office, you know.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
just kissing Andrade, you know.
They line it up, you knock it down, and you just move on to the next.
Yeah, yeah, and it was fun. I loved it. Hope they have me again.
Fingers crossed. I like the fact that you see with AEW, you see a lot more independent wrestlers get opportunities
Yeah,
there, especially with Ring of Honor. Like, I mean,
yeah,
I look back at, Maya World and Hyon as two wrestlers who like made the most of their opportunities, and now they're,
yeah.
focal points of it. So it has to be like an aspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually really inspiring, especially seeing my friend Lena Cross as well being, tag champs at the moment. I've seen her journey as well, like from day one, knowing her back home till now that has been really, really inspiring. And then also my friend Frankie B also being on an Australian on Ring of Honor at the moment, which has been really great. So yeah, it's just like it's good seeing more Australians getting these opportunities, especially, and just other of my other independent wrestling friends as well, like seeing Chris Starr and Ava Lawless as well, getting a tag match a couple weeks ago as well.
Mhm.
So it's really good. I love seeing especially women independent wrestlers getting opportunities more so than ever. So it's been really good. Hopefully I'm next.
So, like when I first reached out, like I kind of touched base with you before WrestleMania weekend, and it was
Mm,
one of those things where like you're going to be busy with a lot of shows and going down to WrestleMania weekend. It was an action packed like kind of month for you, and I want to
yeah.
ask what WrestleMania weekend was like for yourself, because once again I tune in, I'm watching the clusterfuck, and hey, here's Becca, but he gets one upped by Kingsley.
Yeah, it is. I would eh, I would say it was a clusterfuck that whole week. So, to say the least. Um, that whole week just going. Do you want my? Okay, here's my schedule.
Okay.
So I did Vancouver. I would spend a couple of days there. I come back for a day in Toronto, fix up my life a little bit. Next day, fly out to Vegas. I land 6:30 on the Wednesday night. Next morning, early morning, I had Lodestone seminar with Bailey and the rest of the girls. Fantastic group of girls. And then I had ladies' night that same night.
Mhm.
And then I think it was next day. This is where I get lost in the busyness because I don't know where I was after that. I think I had the GCW clusterfuck maybe a day or two after that, but I was just like hopping around other shows, just like meeting people and saying hello to old friends as well. And then we had WrestleMania as well on the weekend. Just I was everywhere. Like, and honestly, I was working and partying as well. So it was like because you have to because it's Vegas.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it was a clusterfuck. The clusterfuck itself was that was my first time being on GCW in general. But that was so tiring because I don't think people realize like if you've never been to an actual like especially like a clusterfuck um as um as a fan watching especially it's a long night but as a worker, my God, it's a long night. It's because you don't know which part of the clusterfuck you're in. So luckily, myself and Becca, Shay Cassidy, Doris, all of us were in our little segment right at the start.
Mhm.
So we got to enjoy, I guess, our moment and then watch a bit of the rest of the show. I feel sorry for everyone else who was in the later end because you're like there's like hundreds of us. There's like you're waiting for your turn for ages, and it's just yeah. But but it's so fun. Like I was seeing like my Australian friends as well, North Shore Wrestling and Jimmy Townsend, in their little segment, and they're like fighting dinosaurs, and
Mhm.
it's crazy, and I was so grateful just being part of that because wrestling, in my opinion, should be fun.
Mhm.
I don't take wrestling. I take wrestling seriously. Like there's an art to it, but I feel like a lot of people don't get to have a lot of fun in wrestling sometimes, and especially with a very hectic week that WrestleMania was. I was glad that. Especially the clusterfuck was so fun. Working with Becca was fun, especially Doris as well. So and having my best friend Shay Cassidy with me as well, all the way from Australia. I haven't seen her in a year. It was very special. So a lot of emotions, a lot of fun. So I was very happy.
How nice was it to finally get home and like sleep in your own bed after that?
Oh my God, I think I didn't talk to anyone like for a good like 2 days. I think I I passed out. I I came home. I think it was like I got home on a Tuesday morning. So my flight was a very late flight on the Monday night. And then coming home like 6:30 in the morning on the Tuesday, and then you're back in Toronto traffic, and it's just like, oh yuck, reality hits, you know.
Yeah.
But then coming to that bed, like this little nice little bed, oh my God, I missed her. So I just passed out. I knocked out immediately, and then woke up to like a million messages, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I gotta do all that,
Yeah,
answer all
back
these
to
people
life.
back to life. So, but yeah, I wouldn't have traded that whole experience for the world, honestly. So it was worth it.
No, I want to ask because I mean, like, you had mentioned Goldust and like being a fan of
Yeah,
his. Do you
yeah.
do you remember what your sort of like earliest wrestling memory was?
Oh God. Okay. You're talking to a wrestler. Come on, we have bad memory. What are you talking about? No, like definitely like it's such a cliche. Like me growing up with an older brother, watching wrestling. And then I think at the time as well, like YouTube was very much a prominent, like a new thing on the internet. So we would like watch wrestling on TV and then we'd be like, oh, this guy's cool. We'll look up all these old matches
Mhm.
and all these old clips of this person. And Goldust was like, he's weird, but he's so cool, And I'm just
Yeah.
like, who is this person? Like this androgynous freak of nature, and
Mhm.
like who can like just run circles. And I appreciate I think from an early age, someone being so creative with themselves as a wrestler and just being something like so out of the ordinary. So Goldust was very much like that kind of character for me, like looking them up, and such a little inspiration as well in my wrestling career, just being creative in general with myself. So
Mhm.
yeah, so YouTube like was my girly. Going to the video store, watching like renting out all the DVDs, like of all the pay-per-views, like the really old pay-per-views with my brother. And yeah, just that was like my bonding time with him, and also playing like the old Nintendo 64 games
Yep.
with him. Yeah. So yeah, it's that's just like very much my childhood, and like he was such a prominent figure in like in games and just old media. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, I mean, like obviously, there was wrestling down in Australia, but like, was WWF or WWE coming down a lot when you were growing up there?
Yes, I feel like oh, what was it? It was like in 2000, like it was in Melbourne. I didn't go to it, but it was yeah, one of the bigger pay I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. I know all my friends back home probably go watch this and yell at their screens and like King's like, what are you talking about? It's this. But like there was like a big pay-per-view back in like the early 2000s where like had Triple H to The Rock and all that like had like a one big Australian show. And I think just from like after that there really wasn't too much wrestling coming down. But then I think later towards like especially like the very early NXT um days, that's when I started at least going back to like watching like WWE live
Mhm.
events back home. They'd be in like your usual like what we have here, like your little stadiums and all that. And yeah, so I think now it's really a really good time in Australia because now we're actually getting PLEs, like your
Yes.
elimination chambers and your crown jewels, which is a fantastic opportunity for our workers back home. They can actually get like the WWE like extra work and all that. And it's finally like starting to see like, oh, these people are actually looking at the Australian wrestling scene, which is really good. So we're not just a little island where like, oh yeah, we'll send like an NXT show over there. No,
Mhm.
let's actually have like really good like big PLEs happening for them. And yeah, it's actually really good to see. So it's good to see like that journey from little shows to
Yeah.
what we have now happening. So yeah.
It seems like maybe the past, I'll say, or 2026, which is mind blowing right now, but like
Yeah.
I'll say like the past like 7 years, you've really started to notice a lot more Australian wrestlers getting recognition. And like,
Yeah.
with your, starting off with like, getting Robbie Eagles being on New Japan, and then, seeing what like Aussie Open has been able to do.
Yeah.
Cause like 2021, I remember like searching high and low because there was a match in PWA between Aussie Open and the Velocities, and
Yeah.
I could not find it for the life of me, but they went out there and killed it. So you're seeing teams like that getting more recognition, and then like the amount of Australians that have rolled through Canada as of late, like yourself and Jimmy Townsend, who was in Winnipeg not too long ago too.
Mm.
Like you're getting more and more recognition for Australia, and it's really nice to see.
Yeah. I think yeah, we have a really good okay, I'm not to be blunt here, but really we're really fucking good wrestlers. And
Yeah.
I think and it's really good to see that all of us are actually branching out overseas now because we are on an island and it has been so hard for us to get eyes for ages. And having people like Carl Fletcher or Aussie Open especially like being one of the first people to actually like get an AEW contract, and especially like Robbie, my coach, who has seen success with New Japan as well, and being a pioneer of that. And I feel like an underrated player is Madison Eagles, who is not only like one of the best female wrestlers of all time, but like one of the best wrestlers of all time. And she was number one in the PWI list, I think 2013, I think. And she has carved her way and like carved the way us female wrestlers, especially in Australia, are. And it's good that we kind of like are realizing like, okay, we're really good. Now what? Okay, let's actually try something and branch out, go overseas, go to Canada, go to UK, get those visas, go to the US, try something and actually say, hey, we exist. So
Mhm.
I'm really, really glad to see that there's more of us actually making the leap and actually trying the whole wrestling career thing out and see how we go with it because we are really good. We're fucking fantastic, and
Yeah.
I think we deserve to have the eyes on us. So, and we deserve to have those contracts. So I'm really rooting not just for myself, but for like all of us to actually make it in a sense. So yeah.
Well, when were you like, you're a fan growing up. When were you kind of thinking like this was actually something you wanted to get involved with?
Oh God. Okay. Jesus. So it's really funny. I feel like every wrestler will say like, "Oh yeah, I kind of knew like maybe when I was a kid, like as like a ha ha he, like I'm gonna be a wrestler one day." But like, no, I knew, like, like I knew I was gonna do something in entertainment because me being in a desk job, sure, that's fine. I just don't see myself like that. I should be out there performing something, as a Filipino as well coming out of the womb of my lovely mother, singing and dancing, like it was like a no-brainer that I
Yeah.
was going to be an entertainer. So I knew in that sense that I was gonna be like the Britney Spears of something, you know what I mean? So and I kind of fell into wrestling because obviously growing up with it, it was like just like one of my loves, of all
Mhm.
time. And I think just one day I was like in my early 20s, like I made a friend who also just happened to be in wrestling. He goes like, "Hey, we have a tryout in like which happened to be near where I lived. Like just see how you go, see if you like it." I'm like, okay, I didn't want to be 80 years old in a rocking chair and not say I didn't try something, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So, and I tried it and I kind of just stuck with PWA the entire time. So, and now we're here and I'm very happy that I did. So it was sort of like, I didn't know I was going to be like a wrestler when I was a kid. I just knew I was going to be an entertainer when
Yeah.
I was a kid. And then wrestling kind of just fell into it. And I'm glad it did. So, because I'm pretty good at it. So, yeah.
For the people listening or watching who maybe aren't too familiar with PWA, could you give a little
Mm.
information about it?
Yeah, so PWA is Pro Wrestling Australia. It is a promotion, well, actually one of the main promotions back home in Australia. We're based in Sydney. We have an academy as well in conjunction with the Pro Wrestling Academy. And yeah, we've been running for a very, very, very long time. It is founded by Madison Eagles. We have her as a coach. We have Robbie Eagles as well as a coach. And a lot of our guys and girls are also coaches there, like Jessica Troy, who is also another fantastic wrestler. And yeah, we have Mick Moretti. We have a lot of people, really,
Mhm.
really good people there with really great credentials who have flown across the world to actually bring like what they learned back home. And I think that's a testament to how good we actually are as a group. We are very much we're very much wrestling is wrestling. So we believe in intergender wrestling as well. So the guys wrestle girls as well, which may seem controversial to a lot of people, especially in North America, who aren't really into intergender. But that's fine. That's their stance. That's totally
Yep.
cool. But that's just what we do. We just believe that wrestling guys and girls and each other just it promotes equality
Mhm.
and the whole concept of consent as well. Just like we choose to wrestle who we want to wrestle, and no matter what size you are, we're going to give our all. It's a very Australian like mentality, and yeah, and you just learn better when you're
Mhm.
wrestling everyone, I think, and it's just really fun that way. So we have a very good production team as well. So if you ever look up PWA and you see how professional it is, we take pride in that. We have audio engineers, filmmakers, graphic designers, people who work in TV as well, who really bring up our product to the way it is, very professional. And we have really good storylines as well. So we try to make what we have a TV product. So
Mhm.
And I think that also translates as to why our guys and girls are very good at what we do. And whenever we go overseas, it's just like, wow, why are they so professional? It's just like, because we're trained that way.
Yep.
We're surrounded by the people who trained in X, Y, and Z creative industries. And yeah, so I can yap on about PWA for years and years and years, but we're fantastic. I don't want to be biased. It might sound like I'm being biased, but we are actually the best in Australia. So that's PWA.
It really seems like they're setting you up for success. Like if you do branch out and want to go to North
Yes.
America, go anywhere else, like they're getting you ready for it.
100%. Yeah. And this is why we always get people saying, like, why are the Australians so good? And it's just, it's because we already set up the way that we are set up. So we take we take it seriously with wrestling and the art of wrestling. Sure, if you want it to be a hobby, that's totally fine. We'll still teach you to enjoy it and like the right way, or our way at least, and how to be safe, obviously, in wrestling. But once you're on shows, you are a professional. So, and you are taught to be TV ready. You are taught to be festival ready. You're taught to be, in independent wrestling ready as well. You're taught to be ready in every single scenario. So, and I'm really grateful for PWA and the coaches there and the guys and girls that I'm around for really upholding that standard and quality of professionalism, so that we're good for wherever we go. So yeah.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot, and
Yeah.
it'll have to be a little bit of a flashback, but I have to ask about your first match and how that was.
Oh my God. Okay. Jesus. Small Kingsley. This was probably like 2018, Newcastle Pro Wrestling. It was a scramble. And it was very, oh gosh, it was controversial. I will say that because at the time, I feel like I was still kind of like getting my bearings with wrestling. I wasn't the most athletic at the time, but I was doing privates every single week. I was really trying to put in the hard work. I had a very strong character at the time, as opposed to a lot of other people who were still like coming up, but they weren't as show ready. But Madison Eagles and a couple coaches thought like, hey, let's just put you in a position in a match with a bunch of people in a scramble, see how you go. And I got thrown into the deep end and was very scary. But I was very excited. I was just like, yay, cool, wrestling, let's go, but I feel like there was a lot of people who didn't really think I was ready for it. So I had a few people around me that I felt like were whispering like, oh, is she gonna fuck it up? Yeah, like how's she gonna go? Blah blah blah. And I was just feeling a little bit, about it. But I did great, and I showed them, and I did the job, and everyone was very entertained. Woohoo! Guess what? That's just me. Who would have thought? Of course, I knocked it out of the ballpark. So, jokes on them. But so all those guys who talk shit, they were like, "No, we were wrong." So, no, you did really great. So it was a very good, sort of like experience as it was a good learning experience, kind of like walking into like the unknown, something that was like a first time ever for me. Just doing something like just like finally doing the wrestling thing,
Yeah.
for one, that's not training. And also just kind of like proving to people that they're wrong. So it was like a whole ball of that. So it was really good. It was fun, very scary. But yeah, would I want to walk into a position like that ever again? No, no, thank you.
It is kind of nice, like, like shutting the doubters up and like putting it in their
Yeah.
faces. So
Yeah, it was very satisfying. And yeah, so like I said, they all were like, no, we were wrong. We were just they were talking in a sense of like out of concern, because they were like, we don't know if you're ready, because it's so quick that they put you on a show. But I was just like, yeah, but it's not up to you. It was up to the coaches. They saw, that they thought I was ready. So but yeah, so that's that story with my first match ever. And now we're here. So yeah.
You mentioned her earlier, and I have to ask how you and Shay became a tag team.
Oh, it's so funny because, like, I don't think we both remember how, like, the first time we met, because, I know I met her in Newcastle Pro Wrestling, which is our sister company to, PWA, and I met her there. She had a very different gimmick at the time, and I was sorta in between gimmicks where I was, like, the tea girl. I threw hot tea at people and then said, "And that's the tea," and she had, a very brooding, silent, nonverbal, character where she had a teddy bear, very emo. She was a bit ghoulish, and she was sort of, and it's so different to what we are now.
Mhm.
So now she can't stop yapping, and it's fantastic. It's great, and she keeps swinging her hips around. It's fantastic. Um, but the whole thing came about where we kind of like we didn't really have anything going for us at the time, and we're still figuring out what we want to do with our gimmicks, if we want to change ourselves or whatever. And then we kind of realized there wasn't any female tag teams happening at the time, and kind of clicked to us when we were both watching a we're both watching a movie with our good friends, Charlie Evans and Jessica Troy, in our house, and we were watching a Korean it was a Korean scary movie called, White: The Curse of the Melody, and it's basically this K-pop group, and, they're to put it bluntly, they were shit. Like, they weren't getting any success, with what they were doing, and they find, like, this hidden tape. Spooky, ooh. And it has, like, a hidden tape in there wherever they were living, and it had, like, this really, like, cool little song and little dance, and it was grainy footage, and we're like, "Oh, we're just gonna copy that." So they copy the song and the whole dance, and then they're finally successful, but it was cursed. Oh, and basically one by one, they just get killed like Final Destination. It
Oh.
was crazy, but we looked at each other and were just like, "Why don't we do that, but without the murder and all the killing?" And you know?
Yep.
So we were just like, okay, so let's be like a girl pop group, let's do a song and a dance that's really catchy. And we pitched it, and we didn't think anyone would like it because I don't know, it just seemed like such an out there idea. But the promoter really liked it, and we basically I where I worked at the time, I worked with audio engineers with with a really good studio space, and I'm just like, I need to get a theme song. And basically within like 2 weeks I got the Backside Girls theme song ready to go. And then 24 hours before we debuted as a team, we made up like a little dance where we FaceTime each other, and in our garages. Because we lived far away at the time,
Mhm.
from each other, and we're just like, we have no idea what we're doing. We're just gonna do this little dance, and people really liked it.
Mhm.
So it was a bit awkward at the time when we first debuted it, but like after a couple reps and like doing the song and the dance, like people really 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 liked it. And I'm not gonna lie, the song's a bop, so it's really good. um so yeah, that's sort of like how it came about, and
Mhm.
then yeah, we figured it out like throughout the whole time. So yeah, yeah.
I think,
Backside
like,
Girls.
you guys are fantastic in the ring. I think what I like most is just, like, how much fun you guys have with it. Like,
Yeah,
that is almost just as good as, like, the in-ring action because, like, you can tell that both of you just enjoy what you're doing.
yeah, like we're really funny. Like, I thought, like, me as a person, I'm funny, but then I actually met someone who's funnier than me, and Shay Cassidy. So, it's been really, really fun with her, and she's actually coming to Canada in August, so it'll be really, really fun to have her again and just wrestle with her again. Sorry, spoiler alert. Woo, she's coming. But yeah, it'll be really good to see her again. It was so fun working with her in Vegas for the first time, and doing like a little tag match in front of Bailey and the girls at Lodestone. And we didn't think like, oh, we've lost it, we've lost our spark, and then we actually finally got in the ring. Like, no, we didn't. Why do we doubt ourselves? Like, we're fantastic, we're hilarious. oh, we're so fun. All we do is like sing and dance and punch people. It's fantastic. So, it's great.
I know you've mentioned the Lodestone a couple times, and like I know, like I see the pictures pop up, and everyone just looks so happy there and like excited to be a part of it.
Yeah,
And it's such a fantastic thing that Bailey is doing, getting
yeah.
all of these wrestlers together where you guys can train and learn and do all of this stuff. And I have to imagine that it was a very good experience for yourself.
Yeah, it was one of the best experiences ever. It was such a fever dream, just like being in a room with not just Bailey, but like all these girls who are so passionate about what they do. And then also just walking in, CM Punk is there, and then next minute we see Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins come in, and then Rey Mysterio comes in, Danhausen comes in and talks about like marketing and gives us, his insight on that. It was just like it was a lot.
Mhm.
Like it was a lot, and usually like she would have done like Bailey would have done this and like if she could have like in a 3 day setting, but like obviously with Mania like we couldn't do that. So jam packing all of that information and just in that entire experience into like all those hours, it was a lot, but like I say that in such like a positive way. It was for her to like give us that much in such a short amount of time with that many people, and to invite colleagues of hers to actually help us as well in that time frame. It was really special. So we're really grateful for her to do that and actually like not just like it's you don't get people from WWE that often to actually come out of their bubble and actually be in an independent wrestling circle, especially full of women as well who are just trying to do what they want, like what they achieved, especially, and actually hear us out and see what we can do and actually give us like insight and and just like love, especially like just and reciprocating like their love for wrestling with us. It was really good. Yeah,
I want to ask because like you've done some really cool things, and like
yeah,
you have a song like even on Apple Music, like your theme
yeah,
music's up there. Do you ever just like take a step back and be like, I'm fucking doing it. Like I'm doing some incredible things in like not just wrestling but entertainment.
yeah. Like I feel like I've only recently done that because I'm very much a person where I look at wrestling as not just like as an art and like something I love. It's my job.
Mhm.
And I I have a really bad habit of like I need to do this, this, and this to achieve this. I've achieved this. Okay, what's next? I need to do this, this, and this. I need to do this to get to this. Okay, I've done this. What's next? Okay, I need to do this. It's just I'm very much like I don't know if I'm goal orientated. I know what I need to do to get to A to B, and I just do it.
Mhm.
And I think only just recently I've just stepped back and just been like, oh wait, I've done so much and haven't actually like appreciated myself and my efforts into actually making all of that happen. Um, and I don't know if that's like a toxic thing or anything like that, but I don't know, I just haven't had time to actually appreciate it until recently. So, yeah, I've got stuff on Spotify and Apple Music, which is really cool. I didn't think I would have like 3 songs, let alone 1 song on Spotify or
Mhm.
these streaming services. Didn't think I would sit in front of Bailey and CM Punk and like ask them questions, you know. Didn't think I would be in Vegas with my best friend wrestling in GCW, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like, I didn't think I'd fly over to Vancouver and then, kiss Andrade on the cheeks, like, yeah, like, and I did that within a span of like 2 weeks as well, which is insane as well. So, yeah, yeah. So the answer to your question, like, no, but yes, only
Mhm.
just recently. So, and I feel like I need to do that a bit more often.
Definitely. It's good to, recognize like it's so easy to like not to forget, but like to not really like appreciate the things you've been able to accomplish because like we live in a time where it's so like go, 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 and there's always something coming up. And it's like, to be able to take a step back and be like, holy shit, like I'm doing some really cool stuff. It's like I think it's good. It's important.
Yeah, it is important, and Yeah, which is why I'm trying to definitely do a lot more so I can
Mm.
actually like try and enjoy what I'm doing right now. So yeah, and furthermore.
Now, I have to ask, since you've been in Canada, I mean, you'll sometimes hear like the American people come up here because like, hey, we might have a different kind of chips, or Tim Hortons or whatever. What Canadian things has Kingsley grown to love?
Oh, what? Oh God. Okay. What have I grown to love? I appreciate how cheap Tim Hortons is. I really do,
Mhm.
because living out here is very expensive. So I appreciate Timmy's being that gal, you know. Oh, what else have I really appreciated? Like, there's, I don't know, just the way that my friends speak. I don't know what it is. Like, they have like really funny terms. Like, when I'm hanging out with like the Manipo guys, like they say like something's cheeks, and I've never heard someone say that's cheeks. I'm like, what's cheeks mean? And they're like, oh, like that's ass. I'm like, oh, like something's okay. So you got little lingos like that. But yeah, I become more in tune with sport, which is really cool because I kind of just got into like Australian sport before I left, which is really funny because like people would think like, oh yeah, she watches like the footy and all that. Like, no, I haven't actually really watched the footy growing up. Like
Mhm.
everyone else has. I feel like I've only just got into that when I was an adult, really. And then coming here, like especially in Toronto, they love the baseball, they love hockey, except for the Maple Leafs. Apparently, they suck. So don't come for me. That's just what I've heard. So
Hey, I'm a Leafs fan, and so I have to live with this. So I
yeah,
understand.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's
But hey, baseball, go Jays. We love
yes.
them. So yeah, so it's just yeah, I've definitely become more excited for sports. So I really appreciate Toronto especially doing that to me. But yeah, never used to be a sports girly until now, really. But
Uh,
yeah.
Have you gone to a Jays game yet?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I went to the one where they had two home runs in a row. Oh, it was like a couple months ago. It was like actually no, you know what? It was probably a year ago actually when I first landed here. Like around what was it, May or June? It was probably June actually. June last year. I watched that and then they had like two home runs and it was like everyone was going crazy and I'm just like I have no idea what's going on. But go Jays, give me one of those dogs. Or what do they call it? No, a two needs $2.
Yes.
And then I forgot what a $1 is,
A
but
loony.
a loony. But they
Yeah.
had like I don't know what the day is called, a loony dog or something. I don't know, but like I think it was like a $2 dog or something like that. But like I had like a whole box of those. It was great. Like I enjoy eating a lot of food and watching
Mhm.
sports now, so which is great. So that was fun. Yeah, a Jays game is fun. I really enjoy a Jays game. I still need to go to a hockey game.
Mhm.
Um, I would like to see a Raptors game. And because I got a Raptors hat and I haven't worn it yet, so I need to do that. So
And
yeah,
hey, the Toronto Tempo just started up for the WNBA too. So
yeah. So I got to get onto that. And also, FIFA season is coming up as
yes.
well, so I'm very excited for that. Yeah. My dad was a football player and a football watcher. So we won't say soccer in this house. I will get
Okay.
murdered for that. But um, yeah, so it will be very exciting to watch that. So yeah, all the sports happening around here, so I'm excited.
Now I got one more for you, and then I'm gonna let you go because I know like you're a busy person, and you're
Yeah.
still recovering from WrestleMania.
Oh my God, yeah.
Now I ask everybody for a match recommendation. So
Oh,
one that you're a fan of, and it could be any wrestlers, any promotions,
oh
but
my
one you're a
God.
fan of, you think the listener should go check out.
Why'd you do this to
I'm
me?
sorry.
No, there's so many. God. See, if I say something from PWA, it's gonna be biased. But I honestly think people should watch more PWA, and it's free on YouTube, honestly. Um, you mentioned it before. It was the Velocities versus um Aussie Open. That was
Mhm.
one of my favorite matches. I just think it's a perfect match. It's so fun. But also, I think everyone should watch Chevs versus Jessica Troy for the heavyweight championship. It's the storytelling of best friends and then one turning on them. It's such a classic storyline, and just like the reasons why the best friend, turns on their best friend, and it's just such a heated rivalry. And I love the way Chevs especially story tells. She's so emotive, and you just believe everything, and like all her intention behind her moves, and like also just and Jessica Troy is like one of the best wrestlers I've ever wrestled, and just watching her as well, she's such a perfect wrestler. So these two have like such good chemistry. They wrestled a million times, but for that belt, there was such like high stakes and such high emotion. I feel like everyone should really, really watch that. That is like the epitome of like not just like women's wrestling, but just of wrestling in
Mhm.
general. I think everyone should watch that.
Nice. And now if you have, social media you would like to plug, upcoming shows, this will be dropping on next Monday. So anything you would like to
Yay!
promote, here's an opportunity.
Well, you'll find me on Instagram under at Kingsley_PW. You can find me on X as well, or Twitter for the millennials like me. It is at Hi, it's me, Kingsley. If you want to hear my music, it is everywhere on every single platform, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, you name it. I think even Deezer. I don't know if anyone even uses Deezer anymore, but that's a platform there. I
Okay.
know, crazy, right?
Mhm.
But also my name is Hi, it's me, Kingsley on there. Crazy, right? But also there is also the Backslide Girls as well. You can find us there as well. But yeah, listen to my music. Follow me on the Instagram and the Twitters. Um, I I don't know what else I've got really. I've got a few shows coming up as well. You can find all that promoted on my Instagram, especially.
Perfect.
So yeah,
Awesome. Kingsley, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you to Kingsley. Thank you for checking out the podcast. I say it every time. I will always say it. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to me talk wrestling. If it's your first time listening, you can find me up on all social media at Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast, all podcast streaming platforms, and we're up on YouTube. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you already know that because you're looking at our smiling faces. So thanks for joining us. We'll talk soon. Grain.